So, Bob, by my count, I think this is the sixth opponent that wasn't on your original schedule. So just go through the difficulties of preparing for so many teams that you weren't originally scheduled for.
Well, this one obviously isn't all that hard because we've had enough time. But the hard ones were early on in South Dakota. We were going to play somebody, and then we're going to play somebody else, and then they said, no. By the way, you're not going to play them. You're going to play somebody else. And we just didn't have a whole lot of time. But Josh did a great job. You know, as I told you guys before, he did a great job of not just finding people, but finding good people that are going to help us playing. The way they play is different than kind of what we're used to, which is good because there's a multitude of different ways to play, particularly in our league.
Justin Jackson.
Hey, Coach, happy holidays to you. Just kind of wondering, getting everyone back here now. Has everyone, stayed healthy, tested cleanly, and, we have a full roster ready to go there for tomorrow?
We're all good.
Okay, good.
Michael Sussman.
Coach, after the Kansas game, you weren't happy with the rebounding and the second chance opportunities. How do you go about correcting that, and how has the effort looked under the glass so far in practice this week?
Well, I wasn't happy with anything walking out of there. We just didn't. We didn't compete the second half the way I'm used to seeing our guys compete. No, we went hard. We've gone hard. We've gone hard the last couple of days. We've really emphasized again rebounding the basketball. We've emphasized defensively, but we just didn't. We didn't compete and play as hard as I'm used to seeing our guys compete and play, and that was very disappointing to see. That's not what we are.
Reminder, if you have a question, use the raise hand feature. John Antonik.
Hey, Northeastern, I looked at them a little bit, and the record seems a little deceiving. They played they played Syracuse pretty close, Old Dominion pretty close. What do you see from them, and what challenges will they give you guys as you get ready to get into the teeth of your Big 12 schedule?
Well, their point guard's terrific. And I think everything starts and stops with him. They do a great job in ball screen series, which is, again, good for us to be able to spend time and work on. They've got a bunch of people who can make shots. So, your ability to help off the ball. I mean, they went to Georgia. They had Georgia down, whatever. They had double digits at halftime, and Georgia came back and played well in the second half. But they spread you. They spread you because they can make shots. Everybody they put on the floor is capable of making perimeter shots.
When you say point guard, you're talking about Walker, right?
Mm-hmm. He's good. He's very good. He's really good with the ball screen stuff. He splits it. He drags it out. I mean, he does a lot of really good things. He can stop behind it and shoot, and shoots really well from behind the screen.
Is that any of the stuff that you will see Lon do at Oklahoma? I'm not sure that's the same, but perimeter oriented and shooting anyway, right?
Yeah, I think with Oklahoma and I haven't really studied them, just the little bit that I've seen. I mean, they're more penetrating pitch, and they're good at taking to the basket. They love taking to the basket and getting to the foul line and shooting more free throws than the opposition.
So there won't be really any continuation from this one to that one. It's just getting your guys some minutes, trying to get some more players into the game to see what they can do to get you ready for Big 12 play?
Yeah, I mean, we quite frankly, we haven't really played 40 minutes yet. You know, we play for a while and then we let them catch up and then we play for a while again. So we really haven't had the opportunity to play as many guys as what we normally would this time of year, you know. But then again, we would have had a close scrimmage and a exhibition game that we would have been able to evaluate those guys and maybe gotten them in some of those games that we didn't get them in because we just didn't know what we were getting.
Kevin Kinder.
Some of the rebounding issues from the Kansas game were the long rebounds that you pointed out off threes. And I think Kansas scored on like 11 times after rebounding missed 3-point shots. Is the rebounding deficiencies there on your guards, your perimeter players? And have you seen any evidence of, you know, they're kind of watching a little bit just because your bigs have been so good at rebounding the ball?
Well, one of the reasons I don't like to play zone is because you don't know who to blame, you know, because they'll give you an excuse about, well, I was covering for this guy, or I was doing this, or I was doing that. That's why I kind of like, hey, this is your man. Try to make sure he doesn't score very much and he doesn't get any rebounds, and that's you know, then it's pretty easy. Then you can say, oh, you can't guard that guy, come sit down, maybe this guy can. It's a little easier.
Chuck Landon.
Hey, Bob, is there anything that you can really put your finger on in regards to Sheboy's struggles?
Well, he's not running the way he ran before. I mean, if you think about it, he and I were just talking. You know, I think the play that everybody would remember is the ball is going out of bounds and it's almost out of bounds, and Oscar runs the length of the floor, picks the ball up and goes in and dunks it before anybody else has really crossed half court. And I said, Oscar, that's what people, you know, you kind of screwed yourself, because now everybody saw you can do it. You know, once people see what you can do, they expect you to do it all the time. And you haven't even come close to doing that. And he, I mean, he understands. I mean, he, you know, he's had a little bit of a cold, but I mean, we all do, you know. I mean, I told him, I mean, I've had guys get out of bed and go get 20 and 13. You know, I mean, I thought one of my guys one time had a hangover and he really had the flu. He was throwing up in a can and all that. I just kept running him. I mean, he talks about to this day as, you know, one of the experiences of his life that made him a man. And I'm not joking. He went to my house. It was Thanksgiving. He went to my house. Jackie comes down and says, Dad, Eric's in my bed. He won't get out. He slept over 24 hours. And he talks about it to this day. So I don't have a lot of sympathy for Oscar right now, to be honest with you. I've seen a lot
Thanks,
worse.
Bob.
Greg Hunter.
Bob, obviously you've gotten a little production off the bench. Gabe and Taz have given you pretty consistent minutes, but how badly do you need more depth and some more guys to step off the bench?
Well, we need Isaiah to really to step up, and quite frankly, we haven't given him the opportunity to. He's a 6'10" who can step out and make shots. He does it consistently in practice. You know, we've got to get him a little more physical. I mean, he's not used to the physicality of college basketball coming right out of high school, but he can make shots. He can pass the ball. He's our most skilled big. We got to get him on the floor a lot more.
Michael Sussman.
Sean obviously had a good game scoring the other night. he's been a little up and down this year as far as making shots. But what does he do so well offensively that allows him to find so many soft spots on the floor? Because it seems like he's always getting good looks.
Well, I think it's more other guys find him. They know how well he shoots the ball. You know, this is year two, and you know, a lot of open gyms and so forth. So I think I mean, he moves without the ball. Does a good job of moving without the ball and using screens. But I think that the biggest thing is our guys look for him.
Carly Nevis.
Coach, you've seen some teams across the country kind of bag non-conference games and move on to their conference. Why was it so important for you guys to add this game tomorrow and kind of fit in another game before the new year?
Because we haven't played those young guys very much. Those guys need to play. I mean, the more we get them in the games, the better they're going to be, the more ready they're going to be to play. I think our strength is in our numbers, and we haven't used that, and that's to a large degree my fault. But then again, you know, we haven't really put people away the way we need to put people away, the way we should be capable of putting people away.
Back to Justin.
Hey, Coach, you know, you kind of look at this year compared to last year. Your team was really playing very well at the end of the season, started off really well, and then was playing really well at the end of the year. Could this team sort of maybe follow that same trajectory, so to speak?
I would hope, Justin, that they learned from last year, because it's basically the same guys.
Right.
I would hope that they learn from that. Wasn't a very pleasant experience. I wouldn't think that they would want to do that again. You know, and it's easy in this league. It's a hard league. I mean, it's a hard league. I mean, there's nobody in the country, unless they lie a lot, that would tell you that they thought Kansas would shoot the ball the way they shot the ball.
Right.
I mean, that's not them. And you know, so we were trying to gap everything and keep them in front of us and make them shoot the ball over us because of the way they had shot the ball up to that point. And then they made everything. And we probably should have switched and tried to do some other things, but at that point in time, it was the way the ball was going in, you're afraid to leave anybody. And we gave them too many chances. You can't continue to let people get that many chances and it not kill you.
Are there any other questions for Coach this morning? Coach, I think we're going to let you go. Appreciate your time this morning.
Thanks, gang.
Thank you,
I'll
Coach.
talk to you soon.
Okay.